Ladies, it's your time to shine with all things fabulous with First for Women on Afternoon Express. For insurance with a host of fabulous benefits, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.
South Africa, I'm Bonnie Mbuli.
And I'm Jeannie D.
Wow, welcome to another wintry Wednesday here on Afternoon Express. And if you're a dog lover, stick around because we'll be visited by some very special little friends.
And every time I hear the word pets, the first thing that comes to mind are those big, gorgeous, dreamy eyes, that face I just want to cuddle and kiss, that sweet, gorgeous vet. He's in the house as well.
And I hope you brought your sense of humour along because in a short bit, we'll be speaking to one of South Africa's best-loved comedians, Marc Lottering.
And then, of course, Daniel's in the kitchen.
Indeed. Hello, South Africa, and welcome to Afternoon Express. Today, I'm standing by with one of our coolest couples, I think, in South Africa, Cloete and Loukmaan. It's very good to have both of you with us in studio today. I know you're sharing some about your new relationship and also about the new venture that you guys were going on with your theatre.
It's not a new relationship.
Well, it's an old existing relationship, but the new venture is what I kind of was going at.
Yes.
Cool, very exciting stuff. Plus, in the kitchen today, we've got the beautiful Claire. And I've always said you're pretty much wasted behind an apron, but you're making some incredibly nice, warm, wintry dishes for us today.
Exactly. So, a fantastic seasonal dish using what I like to call winter sunshine, citrus,
Yum.
and a whole bunch of seasonal vegetables. So, we're making a good homemade chicken pie.
And it's always Mommy's favorite, so apparently you have a bit of a story, but we'll wait for that story later on in the show. Right now, though, Bonnie is standing by with our first guest, funny man, Marc Lottering.
Thank you, Danilo. He's one of South Africa's leading comedians with more than 15 years in the business. Born and raised in Cape Town, he brings his unique personality and culture to people across the country and the world. Joining me now is the crazy, big-head, funny man, Marc Lottering.
Hello. Bonang, I mean Jeannie, Bonnie.
Did you bring my sunglasses? I left them at your house
You
the last
left
time
your
we had that raucous party.
sunglasses. You left your sunglasses amongst other things at my house. I know ladies like you it's to come back for a second visit, but no, I've sold it, but it's all good.
You've sold it.
God works in mysterious ways.
Oh,
He
wow.
used you
Wow.
to help me.
I hope they fetched a good price.
They did. Very good price.
Yeah.
Very good price.
Marc, now you've held this look for quite a long time, and for 15 years now, not a hair's out of place. You know, keep in mind that you only wash it once a decade.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone's being deleted from Facebook.
But it was a good one. It was a good one.
It was a good
for
one.
a non-comedian.
Yeah, I've kept the hair because it makes me good money. And you know, once I shaved my hair off to raise money for a very good cause, and the cause was good, but it was the worst 6 months of my life because then I looked like a normal coloured. And I had to queue in restaurants like normal people, weird. So I couldn't wait to grow my hair back. And now look, I'm here with the hair talking to you.
And it took 6 months to grow it back.
6 months or so,
fast.
yeah. Yeah, it's very fast.
And this lightning streak in the middle, I mean, do you colour it or is it just natural?
This is, everything about me is natural.
Oh, darling.
Every
That's why we
single
love you.
thing, yeah.
Marc, when did you first know you were funny?
Oh, you're also feeling the electricity
yes,
between us.
Like,
It's so awkward because I'm involved.
And speaking of which, are you finally going to give your partner a baby?
No, Anwa and I are definitely not having children because I always say, spoil me, you know, change my nappy, give me a bottle.
You want to be the child.
Yeah, I'm the child, you know. So, so I don't think that I would be good with children, although all my friends tell me, once you have a child, your life changes.
It does.
They don't finish that sentence. They don't
So
say,
just leave it at it
yeah,
changes
your
with
life
the big
changes
smile.
big time. So I don't think that's for me. And I think that we've both kind of, Anwa and I have both decided, okay,
Yeah,
you know,
I'll have
park,
a chat with
park
Anwar about
idea
that next time I see him.
when you come and fetch your sunglasses.
Yeah.
Are
So
you still
when
with
did you-
that guy that you came to my place with? Are
Oh,
you?
my word! I'm
Are
the
you?
interviewer
Oh, no,
here.
but I just want to know, are you? A beautiful couple.
When did you first know you were funny?
He's hot. I don't think there's a moment when one knows. I just believe that I've always wanted to make people feel comfortable. Even when I was at school, and even now when I'm out, I hate arguments. I get that knot in my stomach when I see people fighting. That's why I was so awkward that night when you were there with him. And I like everybody to be happy. So I think that's where, if you can link that to a funny bone, or if you can link that to wanting to make people feel good, I've always felt that way. And I hope that that's what I'm still doing to this day.
Wow, I think you are.
Thank you.
Yes, and I mean that, Mark.
You do, although you haven't been to a single show of mine in 15 years.
Well,
I've
your
never
last show, Captain Marc Lottering speaking, or
Yeah.
Captain Lottering speaking,
Yes.
ended in January, and you toured Australia and Dubai.
Yes.
How was the response to it?
Well, we're on live TV now, so of course I'm going to say phenomenal.
It was phenomenal, yes.
It was phenomenal. People loved it. What else do you expect me to say? No, I think it went down very well. We had a very successful tour in South Africa. Indeed, we started the tour in London, and that's always hectic, at the Soho Theatre, and thereafter to Australia, because there's so many South Africans who live there. And I had a great time. I had a great time with the show. For that show, after a long time, we brought the characters back. Glacier, Auntie Merle, Schmiley, the Texigachi. So that was a lot of fun, just doing all of that again. And I had a good year last year. I enjoyed performing.
Awesome. You do some amazing, outrageous characters.
So
Can
sorry,
you do
I
a
can't
Genie
hear
D?
you. Amazing.
Amazing.
A Genie D?
Can you do a Genie D? Yeah.
Can I do a Genie D?
Can you do a Genie D character?
A Genie D character? Well, you know, Jeannie and I are very, very close. And extremely close. And she said to me before, and that you would ask for something like that.
Right.
Because we know that the two of you apparently don't get on, that's what I hear. So, and I'm loyal to Jeannie because she gets me onto all sorts of shows, because she's on everything. So
Nice
I'm not going to do a Jeannie D character for you.
What inspires you, Mark? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? Jeannie D's smile, because she smiles the whole day. And what keeps me going? People. I love people. I love the way people respond to each other. I've always said I can people watch for hours.
Yeah.
And I'm inspired by that, because everybody's got a story. And for me, if I'm entertained while I'm watching people, the challenge for me is to find that story, or make it up, or, you know, just to feed comedy. But that's the short answer. People inspire me.
Awesome. We'll be chatting more later, and I've got more dirty laundry of yours to hang, so brace yourself.
It goes both ways. Let's go to the ad break. Yeah.
Mark will be back with us a little later when we talk about pets, and especially dealing with the loss of a pet. So don't go away, because after the break, Danilo's in the kitchen, and we chat to Cloete and Loukmaan Adams.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. If you've just tuned in, we're making a very cool and awesome, wholesome chicken pie right here in the kitchen on Afternoon Express. And if you guys want to cook along with us, go onto our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. The recipe and shopping list is there for you. And if you do want to call into the show and chat to any of our guests today, you're more than welcome to call us 083-913-3728. And we asked a pretty cool question about your pets on our social media sites, particularly on Facebook. So go and find us Afternoon Express over there. So, Claire, this is already smelling amazing. I see you preparing something in the pot. What have you got
I like
going
how
on
you're trying to make like a new word there about my food, like wholesome,
Wholesome,
awesome,
It's
wholesome.
Like wholesome. It's done. Dictionary, got it? Take it.
Okay, so what we've done here is just started to slowly cook off and brown our parsnips, our pears, our onion. Takes a little bit of time, so I got going while you were doing your little
Yeah, I was a
talking
bit
over
lazy
there.
in the back there. She asked me to help and I said, it's okay, you can take it out.
Got a bit of sage in there as well. So you can
Lovely.
see the color in there is fantastic. And like we say, it's seasonal veg. This parsnip is pumping all over South Africa at the
it's
moment.
a brand new trend, I see.
It's
I've
a-
actually never cooked with it before. Is it similar to like a carrot?
Think of it as a carrot or a sweet potato. It's going to take that amount of time to cook. So you
okay.
want to get it going in the beginning. You want to get it nice and soft. You don't want to crunch on the parsnip. You want it nice and soft, and it's really, really, really hearty and
Yes, yum.
adds that like
Ooh.
bulk to.
And I see you put the
to your
spices in
pie.
there too as well, so they can just soak all that up.
No, actually haven't. So on that note, what we're going to do is just start off with just kind of marinating our chicken. If you've got time, marinate the chicken for 10 to 15 minutes. Otherwise, you can start browning it off and then just get going. So
fantastic.
you're going to do the hard part here
Oh, pull up my sleeves.
and just get a good bit of that orange and lemon in there. Like I said, winter sunshine. It really is something that is available all throughout winter season and just adds such a fabulous flavor to whatever you're
It
cooking.
is nice. And it's healthy for you, obviously, with all of the vitamin C that you're getting out of it.
Yeah, and you're so used to like winter time when you used to drab, boring, brown food. Not with citrus. You really adds flavor to it. Also, I like as well to just kind of, yeah, that's great.
Cool.
I like to kind of chop it up into wedges and roast it with your chicken or put it into your chicken.
Because the skins almost lose their bitterness once you start cooking with them as a whole, which is very nice.
Okay, so grab a bit of lemon in there as well.
Well, 1/2 a lemon.
Yes.
So half a lemon, half an orange, kind of. You can add to your flavor if you want to.
Yeah, I wouldn't stress about the measurements. Just sort of see the amount of chicken that you have
Make
and
sure it
just want to
covers it.
coat it nicely.
Cool.
So this is also the wintry side of this dish, is that you want those fabulous winter spices. So we've got some ginger, some cinnamon, and some cumin. Those really work fantastically.
Can we use fresh ingredients? Can we use fresh ginger, fresh all that stuff?
Absolutely. Well, and in that pan, actually, we popped a little bit of ginger in there with the onion, and that also adds a fantastic flavor. Fresh ones go in well. The thing with the spices is that it also coats the chicken and really like pumps up that flavor. That is all for you.
Can help you there.
Okay, so while you're doing that, then we just got this, like I said, browning over here. And then with the chicken pie, you want a nice, thick, creamy kind of hearty, wintry
You don't want it to like almost
pie.
run out, so when you cut a little slice of it, it just goes all over your plate. You want it to keep nice, all the innards inside.
Yeah, so we've just added, well, we're going to add just a little bit of flour to this. That's going to really kind of make the roux for the filling of the pie.
Okay.
And that's just coats all your vegetables. That adds sort of the thickness. It's going to add the thickness to
And what's your
dish.
liquid in there?
So, now,
Oh, here we go. I'm jumping the gun.
You're totally jumping the gun here. Someone's very hungry, I see.
I'm wondering, you say you're trying to make it thick. I'm like, it's very dry. I'm not going to thicken that up.
Okay, so then a little bit of milk just to thicken that up, and you want to just keep stirring, otherwise it's going to lump in there.
And you also don't want to burn the skins of your veggies.
Yeah. And then comes in the stock. So that goes in there, and you can see it really starts to sort of thicken. Let's turn up the temperature a little bit.
Can you use like a vegetable stock instead of a chicken stock?
Yeah, absolutely.
Up to you.
Of course, whatever you want.
Okay.
I found the
like
chicken.
her 'cause she lets you just do your own thing. Love
Well,
it.
to a degree.
Follow the recipe always.
So then probably about 1.5 cups just to kind of fill or cover up your vegetables. And then we're going to add in our chicken. Like I said, if you've got time to marinate it, you can marinate it. Others, you can put it in.
We have a quick dish, so...
Also, in terms of the flow of this dish, I kind of just free flow it.
Yes,
But you
thin it
can
out.
also just get a good color on your chicken is brown the chicken off first. Keep the same pan. In that pan, where all those amazing flavors sort of come together in the bottom of the pan, then throw in all your veggies and stuff, and that's amazing.
yum. Okay, I like that idea.
But you just go pop that in there.
Although if you're lazy like me, you just want to do it.
Just go for it. And we're going to let that sort of simmer down for about 10 to 15 minutes, just so that the chicken's nicely cooked. You want the chicken cooked all the way through, and then the sauce is reduced and thickened from that flour, and that's going to be the filling to the pie.
Amazing. As soon as that hit the heat over there, I could smell all the ginger and all the lovely flavors that you've put in there, so it smells delicious. We're going to let that sort of simmer now. We're going to get the base, well, the sort of, what's that thing on top that you put on a pie?
It's called the pie topping.
The pie, no, the actual thing that
the
you put.
pastry.
The pastry.
Okay.
We're going to get our pastry ready in the meantime while you guys go and check out one of our first guests who's sitting with us on the couch at the moment. And they're really, really cool people, so you want to go get to know them. And if you guys want to chat to them live on air, call us on our number 083-913-3728. And don't forget to get all of these recipes on our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. It's available for you 24/7. Go get the shopping list and make along with us.
Thanks, Danilo. Now, he's a charming singer and stage performer. She's a well-known actress and presenter. And together, they form one of South Africa's most lovable couples and run a production company called Dreamers Child Productions. Joining me on the couch is Cloete and Loukmaan Adams. Welcome to our loft.
Thank you so much. That's such
So
a nice
good to
intro.
Oh, thank you. I thought of it myself.
You're really good. I wanted to ask you, did you find our glasses at your house with the last party we had?
Yes,
The
I did
sunglasses,
actually.
Did you?
But
Yes.
like other people, I didn't sell them. I regifted.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll come get it because we're coming to the next party on Saturday. Yes, awesome.
Now, the two of you always look so ridiculously happy and in love every time I see you. How long have you been together now?
It's been about 3.5 years, and I'm still waiting for her to pop the question. I've sort of indicated which jewelry I like, and
He hints all the time.
I'm still waiting.
You are bad. Is it a leap year?
For an emancipated chick, I'm pretty slow.
This is your good time to go. I hope I didn't pull a Britney. I'm getting all big out. But now, how did the two of you meet?
How did we? Oh, you
Speaking
want...
about pulling a Britney, tell us about how the two of you
Well,
met.
it started with Patricia de Lille. Yes,
Okay.
the mayor of Cape Town, the ex-mayor of Cape Town.
Matchmaker?
Yeah. No, well, it was her party. She has a ball
Okay.
every year. And it was the one time I got invited
She's a mayor.
to
She
it.
has a ball all the
I
time.
know. And he was emceeing that night. And I had one of those one dresses on that you wrap. But I'm not good at that. And then I saw Loukmaan and he kind of commented, like, hey, Kim, something in his speech. And later, you know, they have the pictures on the staircase and then they give it to you as a gift.
Yeah.
And I may have popped out of my dress a little bit while posing with him.
Like a Janet Jackson.
Like
Yeah.
a little bit of a Janet. And he went like, oh, you're up. I'm like, hi.
At this stage now, are you thinking, oh my goodness, her gesture slipped, or wow, she's forward?
Either that or it was a party trick. I'm not quite sure.
It worked.
Exactly.
Clearly.
I'm going to try and start doing more of that.
Yeah, just you don't know about it.
Now, you guys also work together quite intensely. What projects are you busy with at the moment?
Well, we started a theatre called the Garden Court Theatre. It's fairly new. It's about 7 months old. And we're sort of trying different stuff. We try doing our own production. Kim usually does the directing and choreography, and she also does some of the musical directing with harmonies and stuff.
Because apparently she does have quite a good voice.
I can't believe you two.
I mean, this is genuine, real research that we've done, Kim.
Yeah, so there's a bit of that. We're trying a comedy to involve a comedy sort of circuit and just new talent, actually, especially with the youth. We're trying to create a space where artists can actually afford to make money. Come in, so we've got sound, lights, stage manager, sound technician, and obviously director and musical
He
director
talks
and
such
choreographer.
nonsense.
She's-
He talks such nonsense. I do direct, but he does all the music. He's good at that. But it's an old theatre. It was built in the 70s.
Whereabout is it?
It's in Wilmore Estate at Garden Court Hotel.
In Cape Town.
In Cape
It's
Town,
based
yes.
in Cape Town, yes. And we kind of, it was dormant, and we wanted to resuscitate it. And this.
There was a storeroom when we got there.
Yeah,
we
but
cleaned it up.
beautiful.
And is it a working theatre now? Like, how often do
Fully
you have productions?
functional. Fully functional.
That's amazing.
We have, now it's winter because it's a little quiet, but we're also using this time to conceptualize new shows. Like you said, you know, it is a platform for artists to bring forth original pieces, but also have a space that is accessible to do that. Because sometimes it can get a bit pricey, and then you leave after 3 weeks run, and you've got to pay everyone, and
Because
you didn't
we
make
had
any
a
money.
friend, Marc Lottering, who had, when he
Yes.
cut his hair, he didn't have work for
Remember
6 months.
he had a side path when he cut his hair, when he shaved
I mean,
it.
this haircut of mine, I'm getting work now. This is a new haircut. For the next 6 months, I'm booked up.
And he's actually going to have a platinum.
Well,
Okay.
I wasn't
across
going
the
to
head.
mention it, but there is a little bit of salt and pepper going on.
It's been around for quite some time. Hashtag's been mine.
Hashtag was yours first, Mark just stole it.
Exactly.
Now, take me through Dreamer's Child.
Okay. Dreamer's Child is, Dreamer's Child was started when I started my work specifically with child abuse, doing school talks with child abuse. This was about 10 years ago. And this wonderful woman came to me and she said, I know what you're doing. Can I design a logo for you? Her name is Dala, and she designed this beautiful child's head filled with dreams and stars, and never used it. Then when Luke and I started the theatre, we had to register a company, and we were like, hey, we've got this logo. We're going to be doing a lot of CSI work through the theatre, you know, audience development and youth development. Why not use it? And so we did. And so Dreamer's Child was originally the corporate social investment side of what it is we do. And currently what we're busy with is, I've kind of stumbled onto a book again called Women Who Run with Wolves. I don't know if you know it. Clarissa Piccola Estes. It is
I
phenomenal.
don't run with wolves, but I've dated a couple of dogs.
Then you should come. But it's basically opening a dialogue for women by women, and it's about looking at a specifically Cape Town context and the female psyche, and how you know, what the imbalance of the male-female ratio does to relationship dynamics in this town. And so it's like unclogging that, you know, getting women back into their power, because often you find the instinct being sanitized by over domestication or trying to compete with men, or so it's just getting back to that.
Yeah, and I
into
think
your
that's
skin.
the only time that relationships do work, when you each have very clearly defined roles.
Yeah. So we're starting Dreamers Child tomorrow, actually, on the 18th. I'm opening the talks at Garden Court Theatre in Walmer Estate. It's free for
But
all
there'll
women.
be no choreography. I wanted to do the choreography and the music somewhere at the back there, but...
No. So it's for women only. It starts at, I think it starts at 7. And so it's basically, I'll facilitate the first session, but it's based on that. It's about going back to your ur. Going back to that thing that...
Going back to my what?
Your ur. That's what you call it.
What's an ur?
I don't know how to translate ur to
I'm
English.
going to have to Google
but
translate that one.
Ur is the thing that, you know, when you whale, the place that the whale emanates from. Not the well in the sea. Like when you're crying.
Oh, yeah.
That place, it's called your ur.
Okay, good. You learn something new every day.
Do you...
I'm sad that there's no choreography or any songs in this production. But yeah, maybe for the next one.
Where can people find out more about Dreamers Child?
Well, we've got a website called www.gardencourttheatre.com. We've got a wonderful team of people, online manager Dylan and then bookings manager Bridget Bruckman. And so we've got a fantastic team behind us. Yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting to us. We're going to take a quick break. Remember to interact with us on social media. Tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the hashtag Afternoon Express. Comment on our Facebook page, Afternoon Express, or give us a call on 083 913 3728. After the break, we speak with the inspiring Margaret Hirsch, and our favourite vet, Daniel, is here with a couple of adorable little friends. So don't go anywhere.
South Africa, are you with us?
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We have a very special guest with us today, Margaret Hirsch, who is the co-owner with husband Alan Hirsch, and together they own the very successful home electronics store Hirsch's. Now, she's built this company from a 900 Rand company into an over 2 billion Rand company. So, Margaret, very good to have you on our couch in the loft here today. So, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you, lovely to be here.
Margaret, your story is phenomenal. Everyone knows the voice. Hi, I'm Lucy Hirsch. Yes. You are the woman behind all of that. First of all, tell us about that story. Unpack that for us.
Well, Lucy Hirsch is my daughter, and we didn't want to pay anybody to do the advert for us, so she came along and she did it for free, and she did it for many, many years. And although it's been off the air for about 5 years, people still remember her, which is wonderful.
Oh, it's cool to put that kind of voice to the name that's behind it. So it's cool that you guys have got a family business and have done phenomenal things with it. Like I mentioned, starting from 900 Rand. Tell us about how this all got started.
Well, my husband was a refrigeration technician. I was at home when I had my babies, and that's how we started. We started very, very small, and we built it up to a multi-billion Rand company, and we're out around the country now. And my hope by being here today is to inspire other people who think that there's no hope in this country, that there is so much. This is a land of wealth and abundance. We're in the right country at the right time, and this is the right time. If ever you want to start a business, start now, and you can build it up.
Absolutely. And speaking of which, you're a woman in business doing phenomenal things with your life. You've really tried to get involved with empowering new women to start businesses, and particularly your staff as well. You've got them to start their own businesses too. Talk to us more about the CSI side of Margaret.
Well, we do a lot with our own staff. We encourage them to start their own businesses. They work under our umbrella. But we also have all sorts of different things. Like, for instance, I started a kitchen in Umlazi, which is a township outside Durban. And last year, we had 800 graduates out of our cookery school, every one of whom can cook, and everyone has got a job, which is so amazing. Because I tell them, you can work for a boss and make a living, but you can work for yourself and make a fortune. And a lot of them do, And
it's the entrepreneurial spirit that I think you are instilling in a lot of our youth, and particularly in the women in South Africa. So let's crack that open a little bit, because it's all well and good to say, let's all start a business and let's be entrepreneurs our whole lives. And you didn't actually, you got your standard grade matric, and so your husband also was a standard 7, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And you guys managed to do phenomenal things with your life, but that's a very small minority. What about the rest of society who do feel hopeless? How do we go about starting a business?
Well, I think first of all, you've got to know that God put a seed of greatness inside of you when he put you on this earth, and he wants you to nurture it and grow it, and it's your job to do that. And everybody can do that. It does take passion. You've got to do something that you're passionate about. You've got to work really, really hard. We still work hard today. You've got to focus on something. You've got to be the best in your field at what you do. And you've just got to push. You've got to push through all the criticism, the rejection, all the adversity, the pressure that you're going to go through. And you know that if you persist, you will get there, because it'll all be fine in the end. If it's not fine, it's not the end yet.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And you and I had a conversation off air a little bit about taking that first step, and it all starts with an idea. And I think there are a lot of entrepreneurs who have an idea but don't know how to make that sort of thing happen.
Yes.
What is the first step once I have an idea to get it done? What is hard work, really?
Well, our first step was we started when microwave ovens first came into this country. People didn't know what they were about. And I was very fortunate to be taken over to Japan to be trained on how to cook in a microwave oven. And I'll be cooking later for you in the microwaves, the new ones that are coming through. And from there, that idea, we taught people to cook. And then we realized that we're in the service industry, that we had to service our customers and we show them what to do. So our stores are different. Our stores are a shopping experience where you will go in and you will see us cooking, you'll see us chopping, you'll see us shredding, you'll see us doing everything with the products that we sell.
Beautiful. And your story is so inspiring. What's next for Margaret Hirsch?
Well, my hope is to get the youth of South Africa to know that there is hope for them, that every one of them has a place on this earth and every one of them can get ahead. And if we can just show them that there is something out there for them, that they can make something of their life, that they can make the money that they dream about, and if we can just show them the way, then we're in the pound seats.
I know you are running programs with a lot of young women, but is there any way that we can get involved in those programs?
Yes, they can just come on to me. They can email me at inquiries@hirsches.co.za and I will reply to everybody. And I work in the schools. I work with young women all day, every day.
Fantastic. Well, Margaret, it's such an honor to have you on our couch. I'm looking forward to cooking with you in the kitchen, only making a really, really beautiful tart. But right now, we're moving on from the couch to something a little bit more cute.
Thanks, Danilo. According to reports, up to 80% of dog owners have the misconception that nutrition for dogs and humans is similar, and less than 10% of dog owners actually know the correct key nutrients that their dog needs. Now, the truth is, when it comes to nutrition, all dogs have different needs, according to their age, size, or breed. We have our resident vet, Daniel Elkin, to explain those different needs during 3 of the most common and important stages of life. So welcome, Danny.
Thank you, Jeannie.
So
Always
what
nice to be
are the nutritional needs for, say, a puppy?
So basically, as a puppy, and I think we're going to introduce Leo any second now. Obviously, as a puppy, up until about 18 months of age, the musculoskeletal system is developing quite rapidly. So the foods that you're going to give them are going to be a lot higher in fats, a lot higher in proteins. There we go. So we have the... How's it, my boy?
He's so sweet. Leo's 7 months old.
Shame, I think he's about as excited as being on TV as I am. Hey, mister. Hey.
Hi, puppy.
So their foods are going to be a little bit higher in fats and proteins so that they have the energy and the building blocks for growth, Something I'd like to emphasize now is that obviously as a puppy you want to instill good habits as well. And using treats is a nice way to train them, to use positive reinforcement. I think he's just had lunch.
Yeah. But also, when puppies, do they teeth like babies do? So will these kind of nutritional treats help them with their teeth?
They do teeth, and a lot of these treats will be quite nice and high in calcium for healthy tooth development. And that actual abrasive action of crunching through a biscuit also help keep those teeth nice and clean.
Cool. Thanks, Leo.
Hey.
His little debut on TV. Right.
Very, very, very important, especially in puppies, is that you don't get into the habit of feeding your dogs human food. Human foods are really, really high in fat, high in salts, and eventually you're going to have a dog that's a bigger, and that's something undesirable.
I think a lot of people are used to, after dinner, taking the table scraps and then giving it to the dog, but is that a really bad idea?
That's a big no-no. Vets make a lot of money out of people who do that, basically.
This is Lisa.
Hi.
She's like a
so now this
princess.
is a fully grown dog.
Yeah, so Lisa is a 8-year-old Italian greyhound. And basically the things that you want to start concentrating in these dogs is obviously development is now over. So any additional energy, any additional fat is, it's going to go to the hips.
She definitely needs some more muscle on her calves.
Yeah, she does. A nice thing about the senior biscuits is that they've got chondroitin in it. So that's what we call a chondroprotectant. So that protects the cartilage in the joints. Any dog from about 6 to 8 years of age, you're going to start seeing degenerative joint changes. So that's basically arthritis. So chondroitin is a chondroprotectant. It protects what cartilage is already in the joints. We found out now that we're putting our dogs onto these chondroprotectants too late in life. You can't repair cartilage once it's been destroyed.
Okay.
So the sooner you put them onto the chondroprotectants, the better. And I'd say any dog from about 5 years of age, you can't do it any harm by adding those kind of joint supplements to the diet.
Now, how important is it in keeping your dog in shape? What happens if your dog tends to get a little mafutiko?
Yeah, that is something that is becoming increasingly important these days. as humans, you know, we feeders. We love to feed our dogs, and that it's part of that human-animal interaction.
I'm a feeder especially.
Exactly. And what a lot of people don't know about fat is, yes, it puts extra strain on all of those joints, but it's actually a really, really active tissue. And it secretes a whole lot of messages and mediators that are actually, how's it? Hey, this is Millie.
Gorgeous.
Hey.
I love these dogs. They're actually like walking carpets. They're so beautiful with such soft coats.
So this is Millie, and you can see you kind of have to use your imagination to see that waistline. It's not really there anymore.
Oh, shame.
And as I was saying, fat releases all these messages and mediators that are pro-inflammatory. So if you have a dog with arthritis and it's fat, it's actually going to be a lot more painful, and it makes them feel horrible. It basically, it's stress hormones that are being released. So they get that feeling of someone who's constantly stressed. Like I said,
she loves those treats.
Oh, she does like them. Like I said, feeding your dog treats, it's part of that human-animal interaction. So I don't tell people stop feeding your dog treats. I just say feed them something sensible. Feed them something that's not high in fat. And then obviously watch their diet and what they eat. Again, do not feed them human food. It's so high in fat and proteins.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, dogs.
Come
on.
So sweet. Thanks, Vanna. And thank you so much, Danny, as well. If you stick around, I'll give you some treats too. Now, stay right where you are, because after the break, Margaret is going to give us a special cooking demonstration. We'll be back after this.
Sit. Good boy. Beano, keep their tails wagging.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So, Claire, I see things are going very, very well. You're busy putting some kind of thing on the thing that I mentioned earlier, the pastry. Are you busy getting ready to put on top of our pie? Is it done?
Yes, so literally, like I said, we've cooked down the pie filling. It's nice and thick, and that's just thrown into whatever casserole dish you want to use.
Oh, it looks yummy.
And then what I'm doing here is just egg washing this, the top of the puff pastry. We've just taken a regular sheet of puff pastry, rolled it out just to the size of whatever container you want to use.
Okay.
And then egg wash it. That's going to get that beautiful, rich, golden colour onto it.
I've always wondered, because I know my mom always told me to put this egg stuff. I thought, like, so superfluous. What a waste of an egg. Just put it on top. But now I know exactly how you guys get it brown.
No, it's really important. It really is important. It's really not a waste.
And it's a nice sticking thing. It helps it stick too, right?
That's exactly what I'm doing over here. So just to add a little bit to your pie dish, your casserole dish, to do exactly that. Stick it down.
Yummy.
Do you want to help me just lift it over? Teamwork,
1, 2, 3.
and ta-da. I like it kind of rustic. It doesn't. You can chop the edges off and get it all kind of pretty. And then
we want to make it look like it's a wholesome meal. What do we say? What did the word we used earlier? Wholesome. It's a wholesome meal we're making.
I just don't think that one's going to stick, but...
No. We'll try.
And then that's really it. And then just for some fun, because this just goes into the pie, some extra flavour, and it just makes your oven and house smell. That's sage.
Is that sage?
Pairs fantastically with the citrus, and it smells fantastic.
I've never actually cooked with sage before, so this is the first, and it smells incredible, so I'm sure it'll...
So you can put a nice pretty one on, but I just like to throw it on there.
Lovely.
And that's it. Then that goes into the oven, about 200 to 220 degrees. You want a really hot oven, because that's going to puff up that pastry and really get it...
Crisp the top.
Yeah, flaky, crispy, brown, fantastic. So probably 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven.
Get it in. We've got to get it in time, else we're never going to get it in time for the end of the show.
So that goes in the oven.
Lekker.
And
Looks
that's really
awesome.
it.
Thank you, Claire. That looks incredible.
Pleasure.
Now, Margaret, I heard we've got a nice main dish. We need to make a cool dessert. What have you prepared for us today?
Well, I think today we're going to do the almond tart. It's really, really easy. I'm going to show you how to do a basic tart pastry, a sweet pastry.
Yum.
So that's just our sugar, our butter. We're putting some baking powder in.
And don't forget, all of these ingredients are on our website, afternoonexpress.co.za.
Some flour, a little bit of vanilla to give it a nice taste, and just 1 egg. And you literally put everything in there. You put it into your food processor. Oops. And then off it goes, and it will. You just keep it going until it actually boils, and then it will go.
So this is going to go for how long?
It takes about 40 seconds to a minute. Okay. And that will make your pastry, and then we're going to push it into this dish.
Oh, yum.
And
Because again, I can get my hands dirty.
Yes. So that can be your job as soon as it's all mixed up. You see it's mixing very, very nicely in the food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can mix it by hand very easy. It just goes much quicker and easier. And now you can see it's starting to make a ball.
Did your mom teach you this recipe, or is this something you came up with yourself, this almond?
This almond tart is a really, really old recipe. I learned it from the great doyen of cooking in Durban called Christina Martin. And she taught this to me way, way back in about 1970. And it really is still so popular today. And you can push it in there and off it will go.
Yeah.
And
Do you make it go up the sides a little bit?
And you make it go up the sides. And the knack is not to make it too thick on the corners.
Yes.
So you just push it up like that and off you go. But as you know, we're in a huge hurry today. We haven't got much time. So I went ahead and I made one ahead of time for you.
Oh, you made a nice base for us.
Yes, I made a base. Because when you've got that all ready, you're just going to pop it into the oven for about 15 minutes. And when you finish, it's going to come out and it's going to look like this.
Oh, there you have a finished one. Yay.
I've got a finished one, so you
Well, that
can
saves me
finish
time,
that one
thank goodness,
at
I
your
must say
leisure.
that I am the worst when it comes to desserts and pastries and baking. I really do not know how to follow the instructions. And apparently baking, every instruction is an absolute necessity. So I'm glad that you made it.
Okay, so now we're going to make the filling. Now you can make it as any, you can put any filling you like into there, but today we're going to just, we've melted some butter, and we're going to add in the sugar.
How many cups of sugar is that?
I don't know, I have to look at the recipe.
Yeah, it's about a cup of sugar, it looks.
About a cup of sugar.
Yeah.
We're going to mix it up, okay?
Okay, so
and we
that's butter and that's
literally,
sugar.
we've got melted butter and sugar. We're going to put some milk in just to add to it. And we're going to add in there 200 grams of flaked almonds, because almonds are really, really nice. And the nice thing with this recipe is that a lot of people don't, if you ask them if they want dessert, they won't have it, but they always have coffee and they like to have something with their coffee.
Yes.
So we're going to put this into the microwave.
Yummy.
And
I love almonds. Almonds are obviously one of the most healthy nuts you can eat. So if you can cook with almonds, always choose to. And I think you could even maybe leave some of the skins on if you want to do with your flaked almonds in it. Give it a bit of color, maybe. That's okay.
That's perfect. All right, so what we're going to do now is I pre-did one like that ahead of time. So
my understanding is that the innards of this need to cook for a little bit, right?
It
So
cooks
once you've made it...
You just literally melt them all together. It cooks about 3 to 4 minutes in the microwave. And then you mix it all up.
And it's nice and thick and rich and sweet.
And really, really nice. And then you literally just put it into the pie case and back into the oven. Now, if you're using a conventional oven, it will take you about 25 to 30 minutes to do that.
I'll help you with this one.
Thank you. It's hot, eh?
I'll flatten this for you.
But if you're using the solar dome, which we're using today, it's really, really easy, because on our function setting, we're going to... let me clear it. Okay, on our function setting, we're going to make sure that to do it really, really quickly, we're going to use the grill, the thermofan, and the microwave. Okay, and you just put it onto your bake setting, which is control number 5, which is baking, and there you literally let it go, and it's going to take 12 minutes in here, which would take about 25 to 30. So, oops, you get it down to 12 minutes, and you stick it in there, and out it will come. And it will be beautiful, it will be brown, it will be cooked through, and it will be absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that looks incredible. So quick and easy, you make it seem, but that's not like very complicated. So don't forget, our website, www.afternoonexpress.co.za. All of these ingredients and the recipes are there for you, and the shopping list. All you have to do is go visit the website, maybe print it out, go to visit one of your local supermarkets, and get all of these ingredients and cook along with us right here on Afternoon Express. We're going to get that ready while the ladies are on the couch.
Thank you, Danilo. We all experience a deep loss when one of our beloved pets passes away. No matter whether we're young or old, rich or poor, it's one of those universal characteristics that make us human. Joining us now to talk about dealing with this is trauma counselor and psychologist Abraham LaRue. Welcome, Abraham.
Thank you very much.
Now, Mark, you've recently lost 2 very special pets. Please, can you tell us about it?
I had 2 thoroughbred Dachshunds. Thoroughbred, which I bought legally. And loved them both, Billy and Tina. Billy we lost, I think, in 2008. And then more recently, Tina, last year. And she was 13 years old. And I've been trying to explain to other people who've lost pets, they say they go through the same thing, whereby it becomes a real presence in your home. So, so they said to me that you will be able to talk us through. That's why you're here. You're not just here to smile. So what do you need to say? What do you have to say to me, Abraham?
Well, I think the first thing is just to realize that a lot of people say, like, oh, you know, a little dog like that is like a child. And I think that that's the first wrong thing to say, because it is a child.
But can I just interrupt you there? I always feel that people who have children will be offended if dog owners say that.
Well,
not at all.
Well, they shouldn't. They shouldn't be, because like if you look at the new research with neuroscience, they actually seen that there's 7 substructures that actually creates our feelings.
Okay.
And those same substructures we share with all mammals. And you know, if you look at, for example, certain mammal groups, we are quite similar, even the size of it and the development. So we are quite on par. So that bonding that happens between you and that dog is similar the way that you will bond to many other people, and probably much better with a dog.
Mark, how did you deal with the loss of the pets?
Well, I thought that Tina particularly, because as I said, she was 13 years old, and for me that is quite old for a dog. So rather than to watch a little dog struggle, there was a sense of relief. But people always say, do you get another dog immediately? And I never know if you should do that or...
Should you?
Well, I think that really depends on circumstances. But like, for example, in Mark's case, I think that if you really bond very deeply with a dog, you have to go through the mourning process like you would do through any other mourning process if you lost a loved one. So you have to work through that kind of normal losses. You know, the Kubler-Ross things from going from denial and going through the kind of negotiations, the anger, the sadness, and then suddenly the acceptance. When you get to that last stage, then only can you start even thinking and contemplating getting another dog. Otherwise it always feels like you can't really bond with a new one because you're still mourning the other one.
Yeah.
I think as a child, I should have gotten some kind of trauma counselling because I was about 4 years old. And in my mind, I think I was Thumbelina. But I had bunnies, and they had, well, I had rabbits, and they had little bunnies. And I took the one, and I thought this was now going to be my pet for life. And my mom went into my room, and she lifted my duvet, and underneath the duvet, on a little leaf, was this little bunny on my electric blanket. I was keeping it warm.
Yes. And
what's the term? Bunny boiler.
Kim, you also have a story of the loss of a pet when you were young.
Actually, it's a bit of an uncommon story. I had a pet chicken. That's very insensitive, Jeannie.
I know, but
I have a pet chicken called Hoena. Hoena, like Hoener, Afrikaans.
Yeah, as a Hoener.
It's actually quite cute to have a little chicken because they follow you as chicks.
But he was like a teenager, and he was a beautiful golden cock, and he used to... That sounded weird, but anyways, he used to sit on my shoulder and feed. I'd feed him, and he'd like play with my hair. And in the mornings, he'd walk with me to the corner to school. In the afternoons, he'd be perched on the gate for when I came home. And our neighbors, the Charters family from Brambo Street in Bonteheuwel, had a dog called Bruno. And Hoena, by accidentally, was on the roof one day, and he went into the wrong yard. And Bruno didn't just kill him, Bruno ate him.
You're lucky you were in Bonteheuwel. If you were in a Portuguese neighborhood, that Hoena would have been on a bride.
Well, I had a dog when I was young, and he died. Choking on a chicken. His name was Bruno.
We are so insensitive, actually.
Doctor, what do we say? Doctor, what can we say to children when they lose a pet?
Yes, relating to this, I will come back to that because I think it's very important how we deal with it. But like one of the ways that we see we're dealing with is a typical way we deal with trauma is sometimes laughing about it in a way because it's a way of expressing the sadness. We're making it lighter in that way. But when you deal with a small child, like for example, you were very small with your Thumbelina, little rabbit, and you with a chicken, then you have to really talk the child through it because the child has bonded deeply or had this fantasy about the caring that they put into it. And it really becomes like a way that we pattern to help the child to actually, in the future, bond with with all relationships, doesn't matter if it's pets or...
That's where I'm in trouble.
I never replaced the chicken.
All right. We're going to be back in a little bit. We're going to take a break. And when we return, we're going to be taking your calls live. Our question today, have you lost a close pet? Or maybe you just want to tell us about your current pet. We'd love to hear your stories. So call us now on 082 913 3728. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back. Today's all about pets, and now we're taking your calls and reading your social media comments. Our question today is, have you lost a close pet? Or maybe you just want to tell us about your current pet. We'd love to hear your stories, so call us now. We've got Dimpo on the line from Polokwane. Hi, Dimpo.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm good, thank you. What would you like to share with us today?
You know how most of us share moments with pets than with people. I think it's because of the reason, because we withdraw ourselves from communicating with people because of the criticism we receive from people, you know? So I took my pet as my therapist and all. It is so beautiful. I lost it 4 months ago. It was really sad.
So what did you have?
Sorry?
What kind of pet was it?
Oh, it was a dog.
What kind of dog?
It was a... I don't know its name, hey?
It must have been really close.
It was really close, hey?
No, it's terrible.
It was terrible.
Sorry. And how are you dealing with it?
You know, I stopped isolating myself from people, you know, talk to people, and then, I carried on. So it's just what I did.
Shame. Thank you so much for your call, Dimpo.
Thank you.
We also have Natalie and Goliath. Dalton Gabbana means everything to me. What?
That's a Facebook message. Somebody's dogs are called Dalton Gabbana. I like those names, actually.
They came...
Dolce and banana.
Sorry. We've got another caller on the line, Manolo. Hello, Manolo? Do we have a caller? Somewhere. Okay, we've lost them.
Oh, yeah, well, I think Dalton Gabbana is the name of the pet, right?
Yes.
And the writer says they came into my life after I lost our long-life baby, Chippy. Oh, no. They're the cutest and are extremely naughty, but we love them.
So
Thank you so
sweet.
much for sharing.
Then Tanya Lorette from Wolfart said to us on Facebook, she said, hi, my name is Tanya from Craddock, and this is my youngest meerkat. They are my kids, and I love them. Aww. So cute.
And Janine Borland, at Janine Borland, says, my boy Blue, beautiful, intelligent soul, loving and trusting, has a piece of my heart forever.
Okay, we've got a caller back on the line. Manolo.
Hello.
Hi, Manolo. How are you?
Hello.
Hi, where are you calling us from?
We can hear you.
Hello.
And right now is a really good time for a cell phone advert, a cell phone network advert.
Jessica Pillay says her name is Coco and she's very special because she manages to steal my heart every single time.
Oh. Then we've got another Facebook message from Leanne Mostert, and she said, these are my 2 cats, Mia and Hercules, and my personal bodyguards, both adopted at Tears. #Afternoon Express. Thank you for your tweets. All right, so I don't know about you, but I am completely famished.
Oh, yeah.
You hungry? You know we feed our guests here at Afternoon Express.
We
and
love
I love
to feed our guests. It is so civilized of you guys. Thank you.
And Danilo has made us a tart. Come through. Danilo, how's it going?
So far, so good, actually. I've just pulled this pie directly out of the oven, and the tart is done and ready. So Margaret made a legendary tart over here. So, Margaret, if you help me pass these around.
Oh, Margaret, thank you so much.
I'll start with dessert, because I think that's always the best place to start, right?
Is this chicken pie?
Yes, darling.
I want some chicken pie.
Okay.
I go for the sugary.
Okay, cool. I'll start serving chicken pie then first. Can
I would love
this?
chicken pie too. Do you want this, maybe? You can have
There
this.
you go.
I don't really know how to cut pie, but is it like
You
this?
can have 2. Well, that's chicken pie. Do you want this one?
I'll keep it, yeah, thanks.
There we go.
Well, thank you so much for coming through to our loft. I hope you had an amazing day.
Thank you for having us.
I want to know what you think of Danilo's cooking, because as I always tell him, I really feel that it's very important that a man knows his places in the kitchen.
Well, I've heard that he knows his way around a tart, so I'm really looking forward
So therefore, we're in the perfect show, Gene, you and I.
Yes.
But you know, Mark,
I'm messing this up, eh?
Kim told me that she also left her sunglasses at the same party at your place. What is going on, actually?
Yeah.
What is
Are
going
you just
on
stealing
where? At my house?
sunglasses?
Yes, both our sunglasses are also
and you haven't returned them.
I don't know what's going on in my house because I'm very quiet. I'm just on my iPad all the time looking up my dates for my next gigs, which is at marklottering.com.
When is your next gig, by the way? Because I'd love to come and watch a show. I know Bonnie doesn't really make that kind of
Joburg and Durban, big time. Port Elizabeth, PE Convention Centre, 4th of July. And other dates are all on marklottering.com. What, Mark? How Mark with a C, man?
But now, Mark, why don't you have your show at www.gardencourttheatre.com?
It's because I'm on marklottering.com all the time that I never quite get to gardencourttheatre.com.
We love having guests that are so respectful. They don't just come on the show to punt themselves, marklottering.com. Okay, so what do you think of the food?
I'm horrible at serving food as well, so just get it in your mouth and tell me how it tastes.
Tulip.
There you go, love.
There you go.
Parsnip, I mean.
What does it
Oh,
taste like?
sorry, I wasn't.
Is it yummy?
That is amazing.
We've got another one prepared if I mess this one up.
Okay. So, is any, okay, I'm going to go for the
Thank you so
first
much for
one.
joining us on Afternoon Express. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will, of course, be back tomorrow between 4 and 5, only on SABC3. From us, have a lovely afternoon. Good night and happy eating.
Tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we're joined by designer Tula Cindy, who just opened a new store in Johannesburg. Fashion expert Alexis Chaffee-Nay shows us what makes our style unique. And actress Sashi Naidu joins us on the couch.
Another feel-good production.
Join us next time for more fabulous fun inspired by First for Women on Afternoon Express. For an insurance quote, call 0861 11 18 44 or SMS FIRST to 49267.